Hi guys, here I am with the best fiction books of 2022. There are 5 books and each of them are for different tastes. So, number 5, The Ballad of the Sad Cafe. Miss Emilia lives alone in an isolated town. She has a store there. One day, a hunchback comes to the town and then to the store, and because of some reasons, he ends up living with Miss Emilia. Over time, the store turns into a cafe where people go and gather and chat, and sometimes even stay there until midnight. And then things happen. It's very short, under 150 pages. It's a very atmospheric book. You can feel the vibes of the small village, small town, and it's a bit cozy but also melancholic. So you can read it in a day. Actually, I read it in one summer night in 2022 and it did not disappoint. Overall, I don't recommend The Ballad of the Sad Cafe if you're looking for something exciting, because this book is not full of dramatic events and all that. It's character driven. The writing in Ballad of the Sad Cafe is very beautiful without too much words, which is just excellent. Number 4 is Stoner. This book is about the life of William Stoner from the way he's born until the day he dies. It's like a fictional biography of a very normal person having a very normal life. He does not change the world. He doesn't do something extraordinary. He makes friends, he has hobbies, he has passions. In this case, literature is his passion. He gets married, he falls in love, he becomes a father. As I said, a very normal life. But what makes this book a masterpiece? The writing is excellent. The themes of this book are excellent. Death, anxiety, existentialism, loneliness, friendship. It's a slow burn if you are into that like me, but it's not boring. I didn't want to put it down. Oh, and it's very humane and the emotions are very well portrayed. You're gonna think about it after you finish it. I don't recommend it to you if you're looking for something adventurous or exciting. It's melancholic. Oh, and it's very character driven. One of the best character driven books I've read. You really get to know the characters. Number 3, Skellig by David Almond. What is Skellig? We can't know. Sometimes we just have to accept there are things we can't know. Why is your sister ill? Why did my father die? She held my hand. Sometimes we think we should be able to know everything, but we can't. We have to allow ourselves to see what there is to see, and we have to imagine. This is a children's book and it's great. Michael and his family move into this new house. He's excited about it, but his sister is ill and she has to stay at a hospital, so the situation is not great. He feels hopeless and helpless. Then one day he meets someone in the garage of the new house, and then the adventure begins. This book is about hope and love, and you're gonna feel warm inside while reading it. Can love help a person to get better? I asked. Love, said the doctor. What can we doctors know about love, huh? Love is the child that breathes our breath. Love is the child that scatters death. This book shows it's okay to be taken care of and to take care of others. It's okay to give help and receive help, to give love and receive love. And it's okay not to be exclusively independent in every way and every aspect of our lives. It's sweet, it's fast-paced, and it's short. You can read it in a day, like The Ballad of the Sad Cafe. I love children's books because they take you out of the adult world to a world full of magic. And speaking of magic, number 2 is an adult fantasy trilogy. First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. So it's a story of some interesting people in a land far, far away. What made me in love with this book was the character development. I did not expect that in a fantasy book, to be honest. And actually one of the characters specifically is very interesting. He's intelligent and witty, not a good guy, but also not a devil, and he's kind of broken too. There are some characters that are not well developed, and I even think that they are somehow flat. But you know, when I'm reading fantasy, I'm not expecting a Dostoevsky level up character building, you know? For a fantasy book that I want to read because I want to be entertained, the character building was great. Yeah, this book reminded me of the time I was a teenager reading fantasy books, going to forests with wizards, going to wars, and having the time of my life. If you haven't read any adult fantasy, I recommend this one to start with, and I think you're gonna like it, especially if you loved fantasy when you were a teenager and if you think that fantasy is for kids, because it's not. I mean, who doesn't like wizards? And the good thing is that each book is better than the previous one. The third book is a 5 stars out of 5 from me. Such an adventure, very entertaining, very fast-paced, full of drama. I hope you enjoy it as much as I did. My only complaint is that it doesn't contain any dragons. Seriously, I mostly read nonfiction, but even if I'm reading a nonfiction book and somehow a dragon happens to emerge in the book, I'll appreciate it. Thank you very much. So actually my advice to aspiring authors is to put dragons in your books. And if you think you can't because your genre does not suit dragons, I disagree. I think if you're a good enough author, you can put a dragon even in an educational book about crypto. And I think that's how you gaslight an author. Okay, number 1 is East of Eden by John Steinbeck. This is the best adult fiction book I've ever read. I made 2 of my friends read it. I made my mom read it. Maybe I'm biased because I love this book so much, but I think this is one of the few books that everyone would enjoy. Most people will enjoy. This is fast-paced, full of drama, plot-driven, character-driven, and so deep. It makes you think a lot while enjoying it. It's not dry, it's not hard, it's not heavy. The language is simple but beautiful. The descriptions are beautiful. It feels like I was there in California at that time. Usually I'm not okay with descriptions of the environment, but the way Steinbeck has written the environment made me fall in love with all those descriptions. If I were to write a novel, my gold standard of fiction would be East of Eden. And I would study East of Eden before writing a novel. Remember I mentioned Dostoevsky as the gold standard level of character building when I talked about First Love Trilogy? Well, if you like Dostoevsky, you're gonna like John Steinbeck too, because both of them really care about their characters, their emotions and thoughts and all that. They are different. I think Dostoevsky is more sensitive, if that makes sense, when it comes to the emotions of his characters. It's portrayed in a more naked way. Like, there are less layers on the emotions and thoughts of the characters. But John Steinbeck is less sensitive than that. But also, both of them are great, but I think there are some differences. The point is, if you like Dostoevsky, you're gonna like John Steinbeck too. East of Eden is a page turner. It doesn't bore you. It's exciting. It's about the desires and hopes and fears we all have. It's a multi-generational book if you're into that. If you enjoyed 100 Years of Solitude or Lives of Spirit or something, I haven't read it, but I know that's by Isabel Allende. And also the ending was one of the best endings I've ever read. After I finished the book, I shed a tear or two, not because the ending was sad, but because the ending was beautiful. First of all, I was flattered by myself that I cried because something was beautiful. Like I'm this sophisticated literature professor who grabs a tissue and wipes her tears under her professor-like glasses. But anyway, wonderful. I don't think we can call a lot of books perfect, but without a doubt, this book is perfect to me. It has all I want from a fiction book, except for dragons. This is it. Thank you for watching, and bye.